You're listening to the Traffic and Funnel Show, the best show on the planet for client businesses to learn about traffic, funnels, sales, and conversions. Chris and Taylor are the founders of Traffic and Funnels, a digital marketing consultancy helping you get paid clients from cold traffic daily. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Taylor.
3 keys to digging deeper. Maybe you're like, man, this is an incredible story, but I'm not really struggling that much. Write them down anyways, because the day will come when you will be struggling and you'll have to make a decision. But this is for people who are like, man, I've thought about giving up and I want to teach you how to dig. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, let's go.
Cool. All right. Key number 1 to digging deeper. Look for those things that if you skip one time, it's no big deal. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Yes, it does. Let me draw you a picture. Look for those things that if you skip one time, it's no big deal. You know, if you look at your life is a collection of habits, and your habits basically are formed by the different circuitry in your brain. There's the cue and the trigger and the reward and all those things that we don't have time to get into today. But your life is a collection of little steps known as behaviors. And here's the first key to digging deeper is you want to find the things that are not that big of a deal. They're just not that big of a deal. Everybody, when they want to change their life, they look for the biggest thing that they can find to change. I'm 40 pounds overweight, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop eating, except for breakfast. I'm only going to eat bananas. I'm going to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning every single day and work out all of the sudden. And it never works because you've tried to find the biggest change, the most monstrous activity you can do. Here's what you want to do when you're in a season, you're not where you thought you would be. Scour through your life for the little things that don't matter, that if you skip once, it's no big deal. And then make a decision to never skip those things. These are the activities that'll teach you to mine deep under the grounds. They'll make you aware. They'll give you power. You know, everybody wants to figure out how to spend $100,000 a month on paid ads, but nobody wants to journal every morning for 5 minutes. But that's management. Management is a cornerstone discipline. The ability to manage the things that you want to improve. Carabelle says, LOL, why bananas? I'm so glad that out of everything that I've said just now, the biggest thing that she took away was that I used bananas as an example for breakfast. I don't know. It just came to me. I enjoy a decent banana every now and again. So maybe that's why. Anyways, I was talking to a member of our staff last week, and he's not happy with how much money he's making. I said, okay, not really sure what to say to that, but let's talk about it. And he's not happy with how much money he has in his bank account. I said, well, let me ask you a question. What software do you use to manage your money, to budget your money? Ben, what do you think his answer was?
I don't.
I don't manage my money. What are you talking about? Okay, well, you don't manage your money, so you don't even know how much money you have, but you're not happy with it. But let me propose to you that when you do have more money, you're still not going to be happy with it because of why? You're still not going to know. You don't manage. Management. We talked about management or maintenance rather at the January Elite event. And these are the little things that can give you immense happiness if you learn how to do them. The same can be said. It's not just your money. It's any area of your life. If you're not happy with where you are, most of the time, you don't even have a device to track where you are in relationship to where you want to be. And you're like, well, Taylor, that's not true because I'm tracking revenue, but you're not tracking activities, especially the small activities. Is this making sense? Yep. You guys are awfully concerned with the bananas. And I'm here like trying to teach you how to make in a month what I made yesterday. And it's not about bananas, okay? Come on, skip with me for a second. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. I do love bananas, but that's not what it's about. You got to drill down into the things that are small, so small that they're not a big deal. Make sense? There's more gold beneath me than around me. Tim, track everything. You got to track everything. Again, this isn't all the time. This isn't for everyone who's happy with every area of their life. But if you're not happy with something in your life, you got to begin to track it. More importantly, you need to look for the small things that nobody else is going to pay attention to. And you got to nail those things. Stop thinking too hard about this. We're not going to get into the scientific formula for how small does it need to be. Look for the things that don't seem to make a big deal. If you skip them once, nobody notices. And resolve to never skip those things. Number 2, 3 keys to digging deeper. Focus on the gold that you want, not the rocks in your way. Focus on the goal that you want, not the rocks in the way. Belief is tied to your vision. How far you can see determines how much you believe in your ability to get there. Let's say it one more time. How far you can see determines into your belief and your ability to get there. How many of you have ever had a garden?
I have.
Have you ever had to pull weeds?
Oh yeah, this weekend. In fact,
How many times have you had to pull weeds?
I mean, it's constant.
Why not just pull them once and then call it good?
Yeah, you can't. You can't. Doesn't work that way. They keep coming back.
They keep growing. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Doubt is the equivalent of the weeds in a garden, but for your brain.
Ooh.
Doubt. Some of you are like, I just don't understand why I have to keep dealing with the same problem over and over. Okay. But isn't that silly when you take it into any other context? Man, I worked out last month. I just don't understand why I keep having to deal with the same shit over and over. Going to the gym, lifting those stupid weights. I attended One Mindset Monday when I first got into CK, but I don't see the point of going to that every week. It's hilarious to me how people think they can do something one time and never have to deal with it. Again, plants only really flourish healthy when there's an absence of weeds, and you're going to have to pull the weeds out all the time. And you got to understand that when you're building something worthwhile, like if I asked everyone their revenue goals, I see the numbers in Elite. They're awesome. They're crazy. And I love you guys. Everybody wants to make more money and more money and more money. You'd probably say, I want to make 30 grand a month or 150 grand a month, or people all the way up to $1 million a month. We have in Elite 3 or 4 people that want to do $1 million a month in revenue. And that's great. But you're not going to get there if all you think about, you've become infatuated with your obstacles rather than infatuated with the goal. And then you deal with your belief issues and you deal with your doubts one time. And you actually believe that you're never going to have to deal with it again. I'm here to call you up out of that, not to tell you you're stupid, but to tell you that this is not for the faint of heart. Building a business to $50,000 a month or $150,000 a month, it all sounds really, really good. It's like, man, I want to go out and I want to create a garden so that I can have my own tomatoes. Just very careful to avoid the word bananas. It's tomatoes. Put tomatoes in the garden. That's okay, Kara. I'm going to have my own tomatoes. But it all sounds really good until you have to go out on a Saturday. Your day off, you have to go on a Saturday and you have to pull weeds. Well, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't want to pull weeds, then you don't get to build the garden. And if you don't want to deal with your doubt, if you don't want to deal with these issues, if you want to blame your on everyone else all of the time, if you want to blame your on the color of your skin or the way your parents dealt with you, or this person has this opportunity, then business and entrepreneurship, you are not cut out for the task. Pick something else. Nobody is forcing your big goals on you. Nobody's following you around, reminding you about how much you want to do this, that, and the other. You're the one that said you wanted more. You're the one that said, I can do this for my family and I can be better than my past. You're the one that chose this. So you go out on a Saturday morning, you pull the damn weeds. Make sense?
Oh, yeah.
If you feel bruised and beat up and borderline broken, you're exactly the type of candidate that the world is looking to lead them. Your pain and your experience and whoever has treated you unfairly, whatever has gone on in your past, it doesn't disqualify you, it qualifies you. It's time for you to stop wondering when you'll get over the doubt. You're always going to have to be going into the garden and pulling out the weeds. And at the end of the day, here's the principle. We're going to talk about digging deeper. You got to learn to focus on the goal that you want, not the rocks in your way, not the weeds in your way. You have to focus on the outcome that you desire. But the thing that will stop you here is when you begin to be more obsessed with the weeds than you are with what's on the other side. And that causes disappointment. It causes you to say, who cares? And you say, why does it matter? And you begin to let the little doubts like weeds in a garden settle in your brain. It happens subconsciously and it happens for 2 or 3 days and then it's over. Number 3, who's ready for number trace?
Let's have it.
Tell you a quick story before we get into number 3.
I was so
sorry. I took Lindsay. So me and Lindsay just had a baby and she's amazing. And she's literally the best thing in the world. And she's so cute. I can go on and on and on. But we're kind of like tired of her crying all the time. So I'm like, babe, we have to get out of the house. So we get somebody over to take care of Kate, her name, Kate Wild with an E. And we go out on a date, and I'm talking to Lindsay, and she's just basically perfect. And I'm like, babe, after lunch, I'm like, let's go look for rings. Because 6.5 years ago, I couldn't afford a ring. And my grandfather, who's since passed away, he gave me the ring that he used for his first marriage. And Lindsay loved my grandfather. And so I used this ring to propose to Lindsay because I couldn't afford to get her a ring. We always said when we make it, like quote, when we make it, I'm going to get you a new ring. And I guess we've kind of made it in some ways. Doesn't always feel like it. But I was like, let's go ring shopping because we just had a baby and you deserve it. And let's just go look. So we go and we look and we sit down and we start looking at rings. And the person at the ring place starts telling us about the 4 C's and how this ring is more precious than this ring and a bunch of that rubbish, trying to upsell me this and that, whatnot. But it was fascinating because it was like, I just had no clue that there was like certified rings and this type of cut matches well with this type of placement. Ben, did you know this? Like, I didn't know any of this.
No.
You probably did.
No.
Yeah. So there's a color and there's like clarity and there's so much stuff. And they had like a little microscope that we could look under. And I was like, we have to get out of here, please, God. The card is staying in my pockets until I think about, anyways. But I was like, man, it's crazy because the more pressure that these diamonds are under and the longer they have to form, the rarer they are, the more expensive they become. Number 3, keys to digging deeper is remind yourself where diamonds are made. Remind yourself where diamonds are made. You've got these diamonds deep in the earth. It's hot. There's so much pressure. Years and years and years and years and years of just being chiseled. And then they have to be mined. You have to go find them and pull them out and clean them off. And it's this crazy process. And at the end of the day, here's the thing. We get into a point in our life where it's very dangerous, and you know that it's dangerous when you begin to want rare diamond status for grocery store effort. You're not going to get the rare diamonds at Walmart. It's not going to happen. We want the convenience of picking up bananas at Walmart. Yes, Carabelle, that was for you. We want the convenience of walking into the grocery store, and we want the status. We want the amenities of a rare, precious, hard to find, hard to get piece of machinery that is a business that only comes from years of pressure and years of proper decision making and immense weight. How many of you have been guilty? Yes, Taylor, I have been guilty of wanting rarity status for grocery store effort. It's okay because the first step to fixing this is obviously admitting it. But here's the choice you have. We all have this choice and we have it all the time. It happens all the time. Well, this person pissed me off. I don't agree with the coaching I got from this person. That person's working less than I am, getting better results. I'm going to chase, or I'm going to dig. Dig, 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 dig. Deeper, deeper, deeper. The word for traffic and funnels for 2019 is deeper. Depth. It's depth. We've had to learn how to drill into the foundations of the earth to pull the gold out. When every one of our peers and even some of the people that are around us that we care about are going off into new things and better things. And I'm telling you again, winners are not winners because they were born with it. They're winners because when it gets hard and it gets hot and it gets heavy, trying to see if I can find another H word. Hard, hot, and heavy. I don't know if I can. Ben, help me out. You got another H word.
Horrendous.
Horrendous. Haphazard. Winners are winners because when it gets to a place where there's so much pressure and it's so intense, a lesser human being would go into chase mode. Let me go find my opportunity elsewhere, versus the people who are able to actually look down and develop the eyesight, the requisite eyesight, the necessary tensile strength to dig deep into the grounds and build foundations that are going to help them win. So, what to do when you're not where you thought you'd be. I hate to tell you this, but if you're just at the first time of being where you're not where you thought you'd be, you're going to hit it again and again and again. I just hit it last week. So how do you hit it last week? You're doing all of the things that I want to do. Because when you're growing, when you're a growth-minded person, there's a level to, you're always looking out into the future, and you got to come to grips with this. You're going to be here again, and you got to use these principles to learn how to dig deeper. Ben, anything to add before we wrap up?
No, it's good stuff, man.
All right. Can't wait to see you all Friday. Well, not all of you. If you're not an elite, I won't see you. If you are a CK, or maybe you're halfway close to the ends, hop in elite. I'm in every single, not anymore, but I've been in every single mastermind, I think, on the internet. And we've made it special, and we've made it different. And we put a lot of work into making it that way. So you guys are amazing. Let's go dig deeper. Adios.